All right, let's jump right in. We're going to take a deep dive into the absolute powerhouse that is Brazil's mining industry. This is a sector that's just massive in scale and has huge global importance. So we're going to break it all down for you, using the latest data from 2024 and 2025 to really see what makes this giant tick. Okay, first up, let's talk about the money. In 2024 alone, we're looking at a staggering 270.8 billion reals in revenue from the mineral sector. And listen, that's not just some big static number. It's actually a huge 9.1% jump from the year before, thanks to a weaker currency and really strong export numbers. Now, to really put that number into perspective, think about this. When you look at the entire supply chain, everything from digging it out of the ground to processing it, mining consistently makes up about 4% of Brazil's entire GDP. We're talking about a foundational pillar of one of the world's biggest economies. It's that important. And believe me, its impact doesn't just stop at the border. Get this, nearly a quarter of everything Brazil sells to the rest of the world, it comes directly from its mines. That makes the whole sector absolutely critical for the country's trade balance.
But here's the thing. All of this enormous economic power, it's really, really concentrated. And that kind of concentration, well, it creates both incredible strength and, as you're about to see, some pretty significant vulnerability.
Okay, and this is where it gets really interesting. Just look at the sheer dominance of one single commodity. I mean, check that out. Iron ore, by itself, makes up almost 60% of the entire sector's value. Everything else, gold, copper, you name it, they're all basically fighting over the other 40%. So this dependency isn't just about one product. Oh no, it's also about one main customer. A massive 65% of all the iron ore Brazil exports goes to China. Now, that creates a really powerful economic link, for sure, but it's also a super high-stakes bet, relying so heavily on just one market's demand. So you have to ask, right? With so much of Brazil's economic health resting on this one single foundation, iron ore sold to one main buyer, what's the real price of that concentration? What happens when things go wrong? Well, the answer, tragically, lies in two absolutely catastrophic events. And these weren't just accidents. These disasters didn't just cause damage. They left permanent scars on the nation, on its people, and on the mining industry itself. Think about it. In just 4 years, 2 massive tailings dams, those huge structures they use to store mining waste, they just collapsed, both in the state of Minas Gerais. And we're not talking about minor incidents here. These were full-blown national crises that put the entire industry's practices under a global microscope. And this just starkly shows that devastating human cost. I mean, the Mariana disaster was an environmental catastrophe, and 19 people lost their lives. But then, the Brumadinho collapse just 4 years later, that was a human tragedy on a scale that's almost impossible to imagine. It became the single deadliest workplace accident in all of Brazil's history. So as you can imagine, these tragedies led directly to a really powerful legislative response. In 2020, Brazil put a much stricter national law in place. It completely banned the dangerous upstream construction method. That's a cheaper but way less stable way to build these dams, and it was the type used in both disasters. The law also forced companies to decommission the ones that already existed and demanded emergency plans for all tailings dams. So the big question is, where does the industry go from here? After confronting this dark past, the country's actually now in a position to play a new, really critical role on the world stage. And this role, it looks way beyond just iron ore. See, Brazil is sitting on these massive reserves of minerals that are absolutely essential for the green energy transition. We're talking about the key ingredients for things like electric vehicles, high-capacity batteries, powerful wind turbines, basically all of the tech that's shaping our future. And here's the crucial point. Brazil isn't just some minor player in this game. It's a global superpower when it comes to these future-facing commodities. It holds nearly all of the world's niobium reserves, and it's number 2 in the world for both rare earths and graphite. That is a massive strategic advantage. But the real challenge now isn't just digging these minerals out of the ground. It's capturing more of their value. This quote from PwC Brazil really says it all. A ton of raw lithium gets exported for about $800. But once you process it into material for batteries, its value can jump past $8,000. The big goal, of course, is to move up that value chain. All right, so we've looked at the incredible economic might, the tragic risks, and the massive strategic future of Brazilian mining. So, what's the big takeaway here? What should you remember from all this? Well, in short, it's really a story of two sides of the same coin. Brazil's mining sector is, without a doubt, an economic giant, but it's one that has also come with severe proven risks. At the exact same time, it holds an absolutely essential strategic key to the whole world's transition to green energy. How Brazil balances that incredible power with that heavy responsibility, well, that's what's going to define its next chapter. Hey, if you found this breakdown useful and you want to keep up with the big forces shaping our world, make sure you follow our channel, Macroeconomia. We do explainers just like this one, breaking down macroeconomics, AI, and technology. And by the way, you can find links to all the source material we used today right there in the description below. So go ahead, follow the channel, and definitely turn on those notifications so you don't miss what we break down next. And just before we go, the required disclaimer. All of this material is just for informational and educational purposes. It's based on public data, and it is absolutely not any form of investment or financial advice. Thanks so much for joining us.